kindness is a trigger. When you do a kindness for somebody on planet Earth, it triggers kindness coming from heaven to you. And that kindness trigger is really vital to a person's life.
Welcome back to the Bobcast. I'm your host, Bob Riney, President and CEO of Henry Ford Health, and I am thrilled to have you joining us today. The Bobcast is where Detroit's future comes into view. It is where you'll hear the big ideas, bold voices, and crucial conversations that are shaping our city, our region, and beyond. Real and unapologetically focused on creating a stronger, more vibrant future. With grit and grace, this podcast introduces you to the relentless visionaries who are driving change and tackling some of the biggest challenges we face today. I'm really excited for you to get to know Gary Torgow, the chairman of Huntington National Bank. You're going to start this listening session with an idea of a banking executive, and you're going to end it with a lesson on what an incredible human being you just got to meet. Welcome to the Bobcast, Gary.
Thank you, Bob. An honor to be here with you.
You're a person that draws out the best in people, and I've watched it over and over again. Tell us a little bit about what shaped who you've become.
I was born in Detroit. I was raised primarily by my grandparents. My grandfather was a spectacular influence in my life. His name was Manuel Mirzan. He was an immigrant from Russia. He was just a pious, humble, wonderful person who spent his life trying to do good things for people. He came over to America as 16 years old as an immigrant. He had left his whole family. His parents had sent him, and then the Iron Curtain closed and he never saw them again. And he had to make a life. He did it in a spectacular, humble, and beautiful way. And I saw what he did for the community, his interest in faith, his deep devotion to his family, and it had probably the biggest and most important influence on me.
There's a stereotype that someone that leads or comes from the banking community is really about maximizing profit. You're about maximizing impact. Tell us a little bit about your journey as it relates to your career in the banking industry.
I graduated in Wayne State Law School, and I struck out on my own with a couple of people to have a law firm, and I was not a particularly good lawyer. I really didn't enjoy the practice, and I fell into a real estate deal in Detroit that did not require a lot of money but needed some elbow grease and hard work. And it sort of catapulted me out of the law practice into the real estate business. Through that association of working on real estate, I needed banks. And I bumped into a young banker. His name was Dave Provost, and he had a small bank. And ultimately, they invited me in to become a board member. That bank grew and it got sold. Shortly after it got sold, Dave came to me and said, "Hey, I'd love to buy another bank. Would you be interested in doing it with me?" And we found the smallest bank in the United States, a little bank in Troy called First Michigan. And very shortly after we bought that bank, the FDIC gave us the opportunity to bid on a failed bank, which was the largest failed bank in Michigan history. We won that bank, and we went from a $10 million asset bank to a $2 billion asset bank overnight. And then we kept buying failed banks, and the bank just grew. We bought the most failed and distressed assets in America, exhausted all of our capital, went public, and then when the failed bank business went away, we started buying regular banks, and we were fortunate to merge with Chemical Bank, TCF Bank, and then ultimately with Huntington.
It's a great story. I mean, as I was listening, though, I was thinking, lawyer, then broker, then banker. You just can't keep a job. It's really what we're dealing with. I want to, in all seriousness, though, go back to the word impact, because as the banks grew and evolved through mergers and acquisitions, you didn't wait to achieve a certain level of success and then said, well, I'm going to make sure that we're having impact on the community. It seems like it was integrated into your thought process from day one. What drives that?
Banking and the bank world is really the driver of economics of the country. It provides the wherewithal, the loans for people to buy homes, buy cars, open small businesses. And every time we made a deal with another bank, we always told the leadership of that bank, we want to stay in Detroit. We believe in Michigan. We want to dedicate ourselves to the communities that we're operating in. A corporation, as you know, Bob, because you lead this, is only as healthy as the community it's situated in. And we knew that in order to be successful, we needed to be successful at community.
I would describe your relationship with the city of Detroit as a love affair. What developed that passion? Was there a tipping point?
I remember when Mike Duggan came to me, the mayor, and said that he wanted to strengthen the neighborhoods. He said, "What would you like to do?" And I said, "I'd love to find a neighborhood that we could invest in as a bank." I told him about my roots on Grigg Street in Northwest Detroit, and he took me to the Marygrove College neighborhood, and he said, "This is a beautiful neighborhood with beautiful, beautiful housing stock, but there are a lot of houses for sale, and people need the opportunity to buy them." And I said, "Well, tell me how to do it." And he said, "You need to provide a full down payment for anybody that wants to buy a house in this neighborhood." And we did. We put a significant amount of money in, and we captured most of the homes in Marygrove by providing that extra step of dollars that people needed. So we gave them the mortgage, we gave them a first mortgage, we gave them in some cases a second mortgage, and we really became a part of the Marygrove College neighborhood. And that was really for us the beginnings of the broad strategic neighborhood opportunity that Mike Duggan dreamed of. Today, we humbly strengthen our commitment to right historic wrongs with a loan program audacious in its size and ambition, a $1 billion commitment. With this pledge, our bank took two neighborhoods, Grandmont Rosedale and Cody Rouge, and we partnered with those beautiful neighborhoods, and we provided a little bit of help and a lot of interest. I really felt like that was the impact that we wanted to have. That's where we really needed to put our dollars.
I want to switch a little bit and talk about the actual way forward for both the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan. What's important to you as we think about what's ultimately going to be a changing of the governor and a changing of the mayor so that we don't lose momentum?
It'll be a different kind of person. It won't be Mike Duggan, but we as the corporate community will stand tall with them and do everything we possibly can. And what we hope for is that that person will be somebody who is humble, somebody that is transparent, somebody that understands that there needs to be cooperation between neighborhoods and business, cooperation between downtown development and the rest of the city. City services have to be strong and important. The safety of the community is primary. They need the right people in the leadership of the police department. We will back them and we will give them every amount of help. You're doing it at Henry Ford in a way that's never, ever happened before. And we will join with you and we will do it and we will continue to contribute.
I've got a couple more questions, and one I'm going to ask you to channel the Gary the deep philosopher Torgow, because I've heard you opine on the high level of anxiety and the divisiveness that we find in society right now, a lot of it fueled by political partisanship. I've got 50,000+ employees that I hear from every day that have a whole new list of worries about the hostile rhetoric that they face, even from people that just seem more angry than ever before. And I'm sure you see that in the banking industry as well. How do we help people reach a level of comfort with how to navigate forward?
I think the answer really emanates from one thing. I have seen in my lifetime that if you want blessings in your life, blessings come from providing kindness to other people. Kindness is a trigger. When you do a kindness for somebody on planet Earth, it triggers kindness coming from heaven to you. And that kindness trigger is really vital to a person's life. And when you walk over to somebody and you give them a smile, when you walk over to somebody and you say, "Is there anything I could do for you today?" you get it back. We live in a country that has lots of problems. We have a lot of poverty that we need to solve. We have a lot of people suffering, but we have the wherewithal, the ability to do it. There is enough for everybody if we learn how to use our resources to share with everybody. You're in the business of curing people. There is, I believe, a medical connection between doing good things, giving blood, being kind. There are studies that say that when a person does a kind act, it gives him a boost of health. And we're involved pretty heavily with the down payment assistance program that Detroit started, that Mike Duggan started. Also today, we are announcing a $10 million expansion of our Heart and Home program. Huntington has been a very forward thinker on the down payment assistance program. We will provide through this program grants of up to $3,000 to help cover closing costs and down payments for new home purchases. And what is the basis of that? 95% of America wants that American dream. They want to be a homeowner. But most people don't have a mother or a father or an uncle or a brother-in-law or a buddy who can loan them the money to be able to get that first house. The difference between somebody living in a rental and living in their own home is a dose of health. It's healthy for their children. They get to pick the neighborhood. They get to pick the schools. They own something. They feel good about it. You are doing amazing things. The people that walk through this door, I know some of them who come through this door who don't have the wherewithal to be treated. I was on the phone yesterday with a Henry Ford doctor because somebody in our company has a father who's struggling with cancer. And I called one of your Henry Ford doctors I know. It was like just the most beautiful experience. Give me their phone number. Didn't ask me, do they have a Blue Cross card? Didn't ask me if they have enough money to pay for it. Give me the number. I'm going to put my team on it. And they made an outbound phone call. Those are the things that are going to be the stability of America. And that's what we have to tell people. Don't look so much at the incivility. Don't look so much at the fighting. Look at the good things that we do, and there's so much good going on.
Final question for you. You have more than earned the right to be sitting on a beach, resting and relaxing. Is that day ever going to come for you, or is this and doing what you're doing now what you believe you're meant to keep doing?
We have to take care of our family. We have to go on vacation. You've got to take some time off. I'm a Sabbath observer, so for 24 hours, my phones are off, my text messages are off. So I have a weekly opportunity that I call my day of vacation. But I really believe we're put on this earth not to vacation. It's okay to have some vacation, but not a permanent vacation. We're put on this earth for a mission. And that mission is not done till you take your last breath. And so as long as you have the health and the ability to do it and the opportunity, your job is to stay at it and not to stop, because every minute of doing good things is exactly what our mission is on this planet.
I can't say enough what a role model you are. And you're not role modeling because you want a role model. You're role modeling because it's what you believe. It's a thrill to consider you a friend and to work as a partner with you as we move this great state forward. Thank you so much for being on the Bobcast.
Been an honor and a pleasure and a privilege, and you have a terrific team. Keep up your good work, and nobody's going to let you retire. You just keep doing what you're doing.
Especially my wife.
Yeah.
I am grateful for the culture of Henry Ford and the incredible clinicians that make that phone call without question that you described, as well as the team that goes the extra mile to make these experiences great. So thank you again.
Thank you so much.
I knew that this Bobcast was going to be special because Gary Torgow is just one of those individuals that you can't help but learn from. He took myself, the governor, the mayor, and about 10 other CEOs of large businesses on a civil rights immersion tour through the South about a year and a half ago. We met with some of the original freedom fighters. We met with the 92-year-old attorney that defended Martin Luther King. We met with the woman who was beaten to a pulp at 15 years old when she was in the Selma Bridge March. It was an amazing experience. Gary chartered the flight, just something that he felt was incredibly important to people to understand at a deep level. If you enjoyed this episode, please click follow so you will never miss a future episode. share us with your friends and leave us a 5-star rating and review, which will help others find us. If you have suggestions for a topic or a guest, email us at bobcast@hfhs.org. Remember, every action we take today is a step towards the future we're building together. Let's keep striving, keep believing, and keep moving forward. Let's use positive momentum to carry us through an era that's filled with troubling questions. Until next time, take care and keep making a difference.